And this is actually the main entrance to the building. And as I walk in here, there will be handsome tile on either side. I've walked out, and I will walk through under a bridge here and go across to my friends. That stack of blocks is earth, but we're creating a passageway through the earth, a bridge that goes over it, so you'll be able to walk across to your friend. You'll be able to go up the stairways and go to visit your friend right here. Basically, this is a vestibule that separates you from the outdoors. You'll have notices on the side here, and then you'll be able to step in. So I kind of have a double layer here of space for the students who are, let's say, in this room. Well, actually, this is not a room. This is mechanical, but this is the first student room right here.
There was a question about the courtyard. I just want to make sure it's clear that this is actually open to the sky. And what's separating it from the inside are large wood doors. So we have
wooden glass
on the outside and the white oak on the inside, and they're completely glass and wood. When we open them, they slide away, and then there are times where if you open both doors on both sides, it becomes one big community space. So we have the common room, and the courtyard can all act together. So I think part of the idea here is that if you look at the plan, it looks fairly simple. It's a rectangle. It has places for people to move around and dormitories all the way on the outside. But our hope, and starting to what we see now, as you move around the space, it's actually quite complex. We have walls, you have glimpses into the courtyard, glimpses all the way down at the end of the hallway to see part of the landscape. And as you move around, it's actually quite a complex plan, and that's our hope.
I mean, it's a little bit, if you're in a double-loaded corridor, let's say, and Billy might be in the dormitory too. My wife, she might not want to see me. And I would, you know, she might go the other direction to get out of the dorm. You know, that's the way things work in life. You know, so you don't, I want always to have alternative paths in everything we do, because every person's path should be their own. And I think that's terribly important, that we can be a community if we wish, but we can be alone if we wish. And I think that's what we're going to find here. And I was astonished and upset when I first heard that every student wanted their own room. I thought, Jesus, that's going to be expensive. It is more expensive, but we were able to solve that by doing some other things.
Yeah, a little bit about the technology. The entire building is wireless. The outside courtyard is wireless, so if anybody wants to go sit outside, that's entirely wireless. All energy, high efficiency, plumbing fixtures, electrical fixtures, all those neat kind of things, and the ventilation system is like no other.
So if we're standing here looking out this window, these windows, and we know the dorms are there, are we going to be able to see that dorm?
No, you won't. You will not. You'll see a berm here. On the upper level, you'll see it, because if I'm on the second level.
But to be clear here, what you're going to see out is a landscaped, a sloped grass and a surface.
So it'll be just as bright
up with trees on top. Yeah,
well,
and we've done sun studies to make sure that we're getting
it out
enough
here.
light.
Yeah. Every room will be bright. Not every, you know, because the dormitories are basically, these are north facing, they still get some very, very fine light. I prefer to look to the north because the landscape's bathed in light, as opposed to sitting in the south where the sun comes in. But we wanted to make sure that everyone has some special quality. And the hallway is about here, and you're in a small reading room that pops out of the building. It's a glass enclosed reading room, and it occurs on both levels through here. This will basically be for students working together, and a small group will be slightly quieter. If I'm looking out here now, I'm seeing the outside of, or the inside of the outside of a corridor. So this will be brick. This will be the light brick, and the light brick will be, so this will be brick clad. So as we walk down the corridor, we recognize we're in a special place. If we step in here, this will basically serve as a small living room, I should say. And this will be tile where Paul is standing, and tile across here, and I think very handsome and durable cabinets for cooking, although you won't have stoves and so on and so forth. That is a poured in place concrete wall, and there'll be a tree and vines on that wall, and you'll be able to step out into this courtyard. It's a little smaller on this side and a little bigger on the other. What that enables us to do is be able to be in our living room here and not to see the people in their living room on the other side, but to see nature as the mediator, and then this is a joined space in between it. So in this other portion of this living room, this is a slightly smaller living room, there'll be a couch here, or a place, the wood battens, and a kind of place to sit down and sit more socially. Again, that also walks here. Again, the hallway is here, but this is a sort of secondary space where I'm looking into the courtyard. So this view is one, if that withholds a view from the other side, if you're standing here, walk on over where I am, you'll be able to, this is a kind of more communal view of this tiny little courtyard. Again, with a poured-in-place concrete wall with a tracery of vines going up at a tree and a stone flooring.